Inspire with Nendrix, the foundation.
Hey, welcome back to Your Best Life, where we engage you in meaningful conversations about issues that can have an impact on your life while providing you resources to help you become a stronger advocate for your health, for your education, and your safety within your community. Hey, I can see you guys all coming in. Wonderful. Come on in. And then while you're coming in, make sure you let other people know that you're coming into this space so you can find out about this amazing information I'm going to share with you today. I see you. I'm so honored that you chose to hang out with me for the next couple minutes. I am your host, Dr. Hairston, and I'm also the president and founder of Embracing Arms Incorporated. And so today we will talk about getting our students ready for the college freshman year, the first year experience. It's the end of the spring semester, and many of our freshmen, which are now called the class of 24, have been informed of their acceptance from colleges across the country. And for many students, they receive celebratory announcements from multiple institutions. So congratulations to you also. According to the Pew Institute, the great majority of schools where most Americans get their post-secondary education admit most of the people who apply to them. I didn't know that, right? Did you know that? Students are applying to more institutions, and it could be related to the ease of applying due to the common application. But the common application, while not accepted by all institutions, may be the reason behind the increase in applications across the institutions, but studies doesn't necessarily suggest that to be the case. So what we do know is that institutions, especially HBCUs, which are historically Black colleges and universities across the country, has seen a surge of freshman apps over the past 3 to 5 years, and we're just super excited about that. Aren't you excited about that? Anyway, congratulations to our freshmen and to the parents for the work and the time, I know, invested in making sure your freshman made it through K through 12. So here we are. It is time. Your freshman year in college. Are you ready for that first year experience? I actually took some time to speak with a few college seniors, and as a professional in higher education myself, and a professor in graduate school and mentor of many college students, I have come up with a few things our young people should consider as they are preparing for their first semester in college. So here's number one. The number one thing is work on your study habits. Please work on your study habits. I don't know how many times students, they just don't realize the impact of good study habits. But college is just not the time to actually start learning about that, right? You should start learning it now, or you should have already kind of polished that up, while you were in your high school, years. But if you have not, you want to start thinking about techniques before you get there, right? So here are a couple things that I want you to keep in mind in terms of study habits. Your study habits is only going to be as strong as your note taking. If you take horrible notes, you're going to be studying horrible information, and you're not going to be able to use that in any test because you're just not taking the best notes. So learn how to take the best notes. And sometimes that means just understanding your professor's way of lecturing, understanding when he's speaking on key information. Like, that's going to be the time that you understand best when to take notes, right? Review your notes. So don't just ask the questions or write down the notes. Make sure that you actually go back to your dorm, review your notes, ask some questions, write some questions next to those notes, because there may be some notes that you've taken, you're just not quite sure. The other thing is reading ahead of time, right? That helps with study habits. And let me tell you why, because if your professor tells you to read ahead of time, giving you resources and websites and things to go to, it's because they're trying to help you master the information, right? They don't want you to just rely on the lecture. They want you to look at all of the resources around you, your book, your worksheet, websites, videos, all of those things that's going to help you master that. So read and review ahead of time, write questions, and then come back to this space so you can challenge the dialogue and challenge your professor. Again, take time in the beginning of class or at the end of the class to ask those questions for clarification. So what is the next one? Creating a community. Can you believe how many people just come on campus and then they don't create community? Like, if that is something that you struggle with before coming to campus, you might want to work on that, because now, again, you're in this semi-independent experience where you are away from people. You're away from the things that are normal to you, your normal day-to-day schedule, your normal support from your parents, your normal activities in your community, and now you're exposed to something new. So trying to connect with other students is going to be really critical for your success, learning about the student organizations and finding a student organization that's best aligned with who you are as a person and where you want to go in your career is going to be really important. One of the quickest way to feel isolated and disconnected is not trying to form a community with other students that are like-minded or like-minded classmates. So especially if you're living on campus, right? Or you're coming from a different country. So it can actually feel like you're coming to a different country. So definitely try to connect with other students and form a bit of a communication. The other thing is campus services. There are a variety of services that are available on campus specifically for students, right? So my third tip for you is to understand what those services are, right? Check out the website. Spend some time with your parents before you leave on campus, navigating through this website, reviewing all of the tabs that are popping up. Click on all of the tabs and look at all of the department services that are available. They can range anywhere from tutoring to mental health services, and can also be mentoring or career planning or, peer coaching. There are services there for you. But if you don't explore that before you leave on campus, you may not know when you need it the most. And so definitely sit with your parents and explore the services that your campus have available for you, so that when you actually need the services, you're not kind of taken by surprise and, kind of feeling frustrated because you can't find it. There are services there. Take advantage of that. The fourth advice that I can give to you is communicate with your professors. I can tell you, just as a professor myself, when I was teaching, especially undergrad, when I was teaching in undergrad in Texas, one of the things that I noticed the students really struggle with is communicating. But it's important to be consistent with communicating with your professors and actually documenting that communication. If you aren't able to attend class, you should contact your professor and tell them that you're not able to attend class. Just, not showing up is just not an option. We have too many students who think that, I'm just not going to show up to class. That just doesn't work, because you would be surprised of how many issues can be mitigated and solved if you just showed up, if you just had a conversation with your professors, scheduled in office hours, and let them know what's going on so they can help you navigate. The worst thing you can do is to simply not show up. Just don't show up and not have any explanation, no type of communication with your professors. If you're not clear about your assignments, your syllabus, you gotta ask questions. Kind of take me back to the whole note-taking thing. So take that syllabus apart, review it clearly, bring that information to your professors and say, hey, I need you to make some clarity, of what's going on in this assignment. Because you don't want to wait until the assignment is due and then all of a sudden you're like, uh-oh, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. My daughter was talking to me about this app called College Maker app, and it's like an app that kind of takes all of your college classes and map it out on your calendar, as well as all of your other things that you're responsible for, and it gives you like this snapshot of what your scheduling would look like, and your social activities would look like, so that you can navigate that space a little better. And so that may, help you with understanding what the pressures are and what your needs are. And it, also will help you better with, communicating those needs with your professor. I'm going to cover a few. So this last tip I want to give you is stay connected with parents. Stay connected with us. This new semi-independent experience can be overwhelming, especially when you are long distance away from parents. Continue to stay connected to your parents and letting them know what's happening during your school week and social activities. Parents really want to know, and they can be a little worried about how you're doing and how you're coping and how you're socializing. They know you very well, and they know some of your limitations and some of your hang-ups, and some of the things that kind of make you feel like disconnected. And so as a parent of a college senior, I've always appreciated my daughter texting and sending me selfies and photos of her college experience. It actually limited how many times I was like calling her during times that may not be good, for her. And so maybe have a consistent time, like say every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or every Tuesday and Thursday, or every Saturday morning, you're going to call your parents. That, will be comforting for them, and it will prevent them from contacting you and calling you during times that's just not convenient for you. So take the initiative and make sure that they are aware of what's going on. Parents have very little control over your college experience, except for the financial aspect, and that's if and only if they are the ones paying for it. So, they don't have any control over your grades, or making decisions about your college housing unless you're trying to live off campus and, they have to pay for it. So, the only thing that they really can control is how many times they call you, which for you may be overwhelming. So just take, the time to kind of let them know that things are going okay, and, talk to them about what's not going okay so that they can help you navigate this space. And another thing is that sometimes parents, when they send you off to college, the first thing that they say is, this is going to be the best years of your life. And let me let you know that that's not true. That's not true, because we don't want to set you up to thinking that this is supposed to be the best years of your life, and it turned out to be sucky the first year, and you're thinking everyone else is having the best years of your life, and you're starting to deal with depression because why am I not having a good time? This can be a very challenging time of your life. You may find some amazing experiences, but I guarantee you you're going to have the best memories, coming out of this, the most incredible experiences, but it may not completely be the best years of your life. So be prepared for that too. Whatever you do, remember that the fall 2020 will probably be a little different than other freshman fall seasons in the past. I know you've been following your university on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, or Snapchat, and you've been seeing everyone else's freshman experience. 2020 has been a very difficult year for the country, and the pandemic has made it impossible for many colleges and universities to function normally. And while I'm talking about the pandemic, let me quickly send a shout out to all of our first responders, our nurses, our doctors, our pharmacists, our public transportation employees, all of you guys who are essential workers. Thank you for everything that you do, because what you do helps, keep us and people like me out, of the hospitals and away from contracting this disease. So thank you. So be patient with the changes and the uncertainties. Anticipate that there may be some online education experiences. There may be some things that you have to do that's a little different, but that's okay. This is going to be a journey. Our next episode will cover a few more tips to get you ready for your first year experience. This will be a challenging year, but you will make it through. Just stay focused, ask questions, and stay connected. if there's something that you heard, during this segment that you like, share this message and subscribe to my page. And if you have advice for future topics and thoughts that you would like to provide about your own experience with these topics, please feel free to leave your comments below. Again, like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until the next time we come together, continue to live your best life. Go out in the community and embrace someone, because they are waiting on you.
Boy, this is my residence, my prescription, boy, this is my medicine. The world can be sickening, living in house resemblance, not to mention the media's effort to keep us in the most simplistic state of mind. Lowest age bracket committing the highest rate of crime. People dying way before they hit their age of prime, thinking success only happens